Hola, ¿qué pasó?
I don't. I hope you didn't say anything bad.
Bonjour, ça va?
Okay. I had no idea what you were going to
Where's
say.
the bathroom? ¿Dónde es el baño?
Okay. Well, that's good. I don't know. And, you know, I work in a place, you know, and sometimes people come in and they say, Spanish? English? That's not true.
I one time had a name tag that said Rosa.
Oh,
Didn't say
dangerous.
where I was from.
Right.
It said Rosa. Do I look like? I might look like a Rosa. You know, I could play off my parents were hippies in the day or whatever.
Okay.
But do I look like I speak Spanish?
I don't think so. I think you look very
They
Caucasian.
would see Rosa and they'd come up to me and they'd be like,
And then they'd start.
and I'm like, Chica Blanca no habla español, which
What does
is
that mean?
white chick does not speak Spanish.
Oh, that's cute, Angel. That's
And they'd be like,
cute.
oh.
Oh. Right, well, at least you know how to communicate
Yeah.
with them. That's all I know. No si habla español, which means that I have no
Chico
idea
Blanca.
what you're talking about.
Chico Blanca no
I'm not
habla
going to say Chico
español.
Blanca. I can see what I
No,
am.
Chico. Chica is girl. Chico.
Chico.
Chico Blanca.
I used to have a friend of mine. See that guy up there standing up on the 4 pictures of the band? That's the Venados. Chico. There's the guy top left.
Aww.
Chico, Alan, Bob, and the Wiz. Okay, many years
Chico,
ago.
Alan, Bob. Oh.
Yes.
Oh, you were cute back then. Look
Oh,
at you. And you're like,
see?
we should get that and show that picture.
Okay, well, I'll definitely get it and insert it to the Renatos, and I will even run. While we're talking right now, I will put up. This is hard to believe, I know. Tina was at the 1964 World's Fair as a child. She got separated from her mother and screamed bloody murder until her mother walked in the room. At which point she ceased immediately. Okay, they had her there. She screamed and cried the whole time until her mother came, and her mother came. She stopped. Shut up.
Okay.
She's fine. Okay. While she was there as an infant, at 4 or 5 years old, the Wiz was there playing in a band, and I've been running silent pictures because it was an 8mm camera that we had. While we've been talking about it right now, I've been running that. So that guy on the drums is the Wiz many moons ago.
Huh.
Yeah, is that
You
cool?
played the drums?
I played the drums, yes.
And the guitar.
Yeah, well, I played the drums. I initially started with the drums, and did that for quite a while. Actually, some people think I'm a really great drummer, but I sold my drums when I moved down here. Didn't have a place to put them, and I had to gravitate to a guitar early on because drummers normally don't sing. Okay.
Now they do.
They do now, but normally they don't. You know, you got to be up front.
Could you still play the drums though? If you were to like someone hand you some sticks and be like, here, go
Right
at
now,
it. Pop out a
bicycle.
beep.
Absolutely.
Okay.
It's
I always
absolutely
admire drummers because I have a hard time like
doing
patting
4
my
things at
head
once.
and rubbing my belly and walking, and then for you to do,
cymbal, snare drum, hi-hat,
I couldn't
bass
do it.
drum.
I'd be like,
But the music is not. I mean, drummers have different periods when the music is really
I
fun
heard
to
drummers
play.
get more ladies too.
I'm not going there.
Okay. I'm
You
just
know,
saying.
A guy that's been married as many times as me, okay, was
So they do,
obviously a
so-
drummer. Yes, they do. Okay, and I don't know. I guess it's the rhythm or whatever it is. You know, it's that nature
Okay.
calls kind of thing. All right, but be that as it may, but I wanted to be a songwriter. You can't write a song with a drum, so I had to learn how to play the guitar. So because that was the one I chose. The piano seemed beyond my scope. I didn't have one. You can't carry it around. You can't learn. I spent, $5 or $6. I bought an electric guitar. Had an action like this. That's the distance between the strings and the frets. Your fingers were bleeding after a while. It was so horrible. And I didn't have an amp. So I just got this body of a guitar, solid piece of wood, put the strings on it, and I started to play it. And not too long after, I tried to take lessons in the beginning, but that was not it for me, because he was trying to teach me notes and music and all that stuff, and I wanted to write songs. So I never practiced, and there's my folks, why pay for lessons if he's not going to, okay?
Right.
So, but I still had the guitar. And I started, and I tell people is you want to learn how to play guitar, pick a song that you like and learn to play it. And by the time you can play that song, you'll be able to play almost any song. Because in many cases, listen, they said to Hank Williams one time, something about only using 3 chords, and he said, 3? There's 3? You know what I mean? He was only using 2. Okay? But, you know, many songs, especially country songs, use G, C, D, A.
So you classify yourself as a country musician?
No, I'm whistle musician.
Because this is 2 weeks in a row that you've talked about country.
Well, that's because...
Tennessee musicians last week, country this week.
Oh, really? Yeah, that's true. Well, I don't classify myself as a country singer, but I think if you were to put my music out the way I sing it, that's probably the genre that I would be in. Because let me tell you, if I was in Nashville, I would have an incredible... I would be a star by now. Because with the songs that I have, all I would have to do is go into the studio, hire the right instruments, and turn out hits. I could do that. Is that scary?
So why don't you move to Nashville?
Because my job is here and stuff like that. And there would still be a period of time of speculation, and I don't have the funds to take care of myself. And when I did, I didn't do it. I didn't, you know. Anyway, so the short version is, the way I perform my songs can be played by anybody, almost any way.
Do you know who Ben Folds is?
No, ma'am.
Okay.
Is he a person that does
yeah,
music?
he's a musician. He used to be a drummer.
Oh, okay.
He lives in Nashville.
Oh, no,
he used to be a drummer, and he now is an independent artist. He has had a couple of pop hits, but he doesn't mean for them to have pop hits. Pop hits,
right.
Yeah.
So are you friendly with him? Do you know him? No.
I don't know him personally. I've seen the show a couple of times.
Oh, okay.
But I do know somebody who could be friendly with him.
Well, maybe we should talk sometime.
Okay.
And we should get something to the friend that might know him.
Yeah, that friend's in China.
Oh, that person?
Yeah.
That's not a friend.
No, but I have.
That's
I have some.
person.
You know, we'll figure it out.
Okay. But anyway, because I mean, I have all kinds of cross-race songs too, you know, and things that I wrote specifically like that. But they're songs. Mm-hmm. And the point that I'm going to make in the fall when I go out to place my music, to try and place my music with a publisher, they've been searching for the next thing. Did we talk about this once before?
And you think you're the next thing? Or you think your songs, if in the right hands, could be the next thing?
Can be the next thing. Because I even noticed when I went to see Phantom Menace in 3D, and the garbage music that they were playing ahead of time, you know, they had the DJs on this week, and you know, and even those, while they were mediocre at best, they weren't great songs, but they were more melodic and more wordy than the recent past. And that shows you the trend. They're reaching out. If they can reach out for those type of songs,
right,
a guy like me should be able to coast in there and say, kids, let's make some money. Because I'm
supposed to go see a movie tonight.
I have about 163 songs already written.
Wow.
And they've stood the test of time.
You should write one about me.
If you'd like, I could. I mean, but couldn't be a love song because we're not, you know, it's not like that.
It'd be like the Crazy Cat Lady.
The Catwoman?
No, that sounds like it belongs in an action movie.
Right.
The Crazy Cat Lady.
Crazy Cat Lady. Okay, well, I'll have to delve into the possibilities.
Did I tell you how to take Gandalf to the vet last week?
No, and you never told me, we never got a comic report either.
No, we didn't. Okay, I do have some pictures. I didn't take a lot. I realized when I was there that I don't, it's not my thing. Like,
I know exactly what you mean.
I pretended it was my thing because I had been there previously with somebody and I wanted them. What I realized about myself over that weekend is that the person that I had lived with, I never felt that he thought I was good enough for him. And that the only way I could be considered good enough for him is if I
do something.
If I had showed the same interest and you know all that stuff. So he would go and get really excited about this, and so I'd get really excited too. And I'd go and I'd pretend I was really excited but I really didn't care.
Right.
And so when I went with Adam and I took him, I was excited.
You were happy for him.
I was excited to go.
Right.
And then I realized after like the first hour, I was like, I'm done with this. Like,
right.
But Adam was thrilled. He was like a kid in the candy store.
Okay.
He got some comic books. I don't really know what he got, but I just know that he was about to pee on his pants.
Okay.
And then he got to meet Peter Mayhew, who plays Chewbacca, and he was silent for like 10 minutes afterwards. I was like, this is great.
But you see, and that's like the thrill that you get, like if you take your child someplace.
Yeah.
That this is definitely something I would never do myself. But he's so happy.
He was so happy.
You know, I mean, so you did, and you
I
see,
did get something. I did find there's the guy who does all of the Donald Duck and Scrooge McDuck comics.
Okay.
He was there,
okay.
the artist.
Right.
And he writes all of the comics as well.
Okay.
All of those comic strips.
Uh-huh.
And he was there.
Comic strips for TV? I mean, comic strips for like the newspapers?
Yeah,
or
the books.
Oh,
the
yeah,
books
right.
and the strip. I mean, everything.
Okay.
He is the only person that I am aware of that does that. They have, they have the people that animate Donald Duck for the TV shows, but when it comes to the comics, he's the only one that does it.
Right.
And I mean, he could whip out a Donald or Scrooge McDuck in like 10 seconds.
Right.
Perfect.
Boom, boom, boom.
Yeah, and so I.
Did you get one?
Well.
No. Okay. Sorry.
Here's what. I was walking along and I saw somebody had a book. It was called The Life and Times of Scrooge McDuck, Volume 1.
Right.
Written and authored and artist by this person. I don't remember his name. And I was like, he's here. Oh. So I bought the book. Okay. It was $25, full color. Walk over to the artist. I said, will you autograph my book for me? So now I have an autographed book.
Oh, that's nice.
Of the Donald Duck artist.
Now, did you have to pay him for the autograph?
No.
No, if you bought the book, he would autograph it.
Yeah.
So that's nice.
Yeah. If you wanted him to, if he had prints there that he would draw, and he would draw you one right then and there, you would have to pay for those, but all of the autographs are free.
Okay.
Which is wonderful.
And the thing that's cool about that is the life lesson that you have just imparted to every little girl, poor strange little girl that watches this show, okay, is that you don't change yourself for somebody else. You be yourself and let the person that likes you the way you are find you.
Yes.
Okay, that's how. It's the only way you'll be happy.
And I had a nice time. After a while, I got a little fatigued because it had been a long day for me because I had to get early, do some chores and things, and then we did we taped earlier that day than we normally did, and then so it was just kind of a long day for me and a lot of standing around.
Right.
No, excuse me, but Adam was so happy. And then what was really funny is there's all these weird people dressed up. I mean, there was this old lady. Right. She was old. She's probably older than you, and she was dressed up.
Nice way to phrase it.
No, but I mean, she was old.
Okay.
And wrinkly and nasty looking, and she dressed up as Supergirl. And Supergirl or Super something or other has this like white spandex thing that has a hole in their chest, so of course you see the cleavage. Or so, I don't know what it is.
No, but it's one of those super.
I was like,
Tina would know.
That is the most disgusting thing I've ever seen. Like, I don't care how. If you're older than 25, don't wear that because so everyone gets to see your saggy, 35 triple Ds hanging down in this white spandex, and like you're gross. Right. So gross.
Well,
But what was cute is when we'd be walking around, there'd be some really creepy guys there.
Right.
And really creepy guys. And they'd be looking at me, because I'm dressed in just a T-shirt and flip-flops.
Well, I can believe that some creepy people go to these things.
So they were looking, these guys would be looking at me kind of, I don't know,
creepy.
Weird. Yeah. And, one of that look like, I'd tap that type look.
Right.
So Adam would come up out of nowhere. He would come up and he'd put his arms around me, and we don't normally do
public displays.
We'll hold hands,
right.
Maybe steal a kiss or two,
right.
Give each other a hug if we're standing in line for something,
right.
But not how you see people groping each other.
Right.
But he was a little gropey that day, but he only did that every time he'd see some creepy guy So it was sweet because I felt like he was telling those guys, "Back off, she's mine."
Yeah, that's cool, but that's nice. Yeah. And listen, I have to tell you, everybody that knows you two, that I know, thinks you're a neat couple. They just think you're just a nice couple. You fit together. You're just So
We
I really
respect each other.
Yeah,
It's
and
it's a very wonderful feeling.
I look. I'll be really surprised if you're not engaged before August. I don't think he
we
wants
won't
to
be.
step. I don't think he
We
wants to
won't
step
be.
on that. But I just.
We won't be.
Okay, well I understand that.
I
But
don't-
I'm just
I mean,
saying I
haven't
wouldn't be
even-
surprised
I
because
haven't met his family
you've
or
been
anything.
ready since we've been doing the show, okay? And you know,
It's
and he
true.
has come along at his own pace, and that's the right thing to do. Allow him to be himself, and you clearly love each other. Do you guys use that word at all?
Oh, all the time.
All the time. See how things have
Now
grown?
his new thing is I'll have a bad day or a cranky day or moody or whatever because I have lots going on in my life and
Right.
I'll just be quiet
Right.
and he'll call me up and he'll ask me questions and I'll be like, I really don't know. Can you just like, I gotta go. He'll be like, well, just don't forget this one thing. And I'm like, what? And he's like, it's really important that you never, ever, ever forget this. And I'm like, and he's getting more excited as he's going on. And I'm like, what? And he goes, I love you. And I'm like, I love you too. But now I have to go. So, he's sweet. It's good. I'm happy. But I didn't really feel, I was like, I'm glad I went and I would not, I'd like to go again next year with Adam, but
Yeah,
I
but
don't.
but see, that was the point I was trying to make.
Yeah.
Because when when the phony won, and that's what I want the little girls to get. Don't be phony.
Don't be phony,
Okay, you know, because when it's real, see, you can go, and still not have any interest in it, and be just as happy
Yeah.
as can be, because the person that you care about
Is
is
happy. Yeah. That's
Do you know
exactly
what I mean? You know,
happened.
it's just like, and here's a good illustrative example. Now, I'm not into the Planet of the Apes, okay? I watched the first one. It was okay. Then they went downhill. They cut the budgets back, and you could see, you know, as
Are you
a
talking about the
professional-
original movies?
The original movie, the
Okay.
original 5 films. You could see that every one they made after the first one had less money to work with.
Okay.
Okay, because it got simpler and simpler and simpler. Okay, so I was really not into it.
Mm-hmm.
Now Tina, she loves it. She wanted to see it, and I have been pushing her off and pushing her off. Saying, you just go ahead. And one
Was
day
this
I read.
the new movie she
No,
wanted
no,
to
this.
see?
No,
Oh,
we'll get
okay.
to that.
Oh, okay.
Okay, but this was the 5. Yeah, because I had them on the wall for years. And one day I realized, you know something? This is something that she wants to do.
Mm-hmm.
So I called her on the phone. I said, okay, listen, if we're going to watch a Planet of the Apes, I want to watch one a night. Boom, boom, boom. So we can stay in context and follow the story and see how good they do following the story. And while, I mean, I even fell asleep in a little bit, but the fact of the matter is, it was something that she wanted to do. She wanted me to be a part of it. She didn't come out and say it, but she okay? And we did it. And whether I liked it or not, she enjoyed it. Do you know what I mean? So I was happy to do it for her. Do you know what I mean? I mean, I love her, you know? So, after that, she had a bootleg copy made in Russia, something like that. Really? Russian.
Quality a little eh.
You know, and, but she had it, like the first week it came out, somebody gave it to her. Okay? But there's a few places where there's subtitles and they're in Russian. Okay? But it's an English film, English version. And we had watched it once back a while back. I hadn't seen it since
This is
then.
the new movie?
It's the brand new one, Rise of the Planet of the Apes.
Okay.
Okay, so we watched it the other night, and I really enjoyed it.
This is the one with James Franco, and they take the ape and they teach it sign language, and then
Yeah, and then they say shoot him with the
yeah,
stuff.
and then,
See, if you
Okay.
don't buy into the chemicals, the movie don't work.
I can't watch those movies.
You know, if
I have
if
a
you-
hard time with animal movies. I
you
have
know,
a very
well,
hard
that's because
time.
you're very, very in touch with.
Yeah,
your
I'm like,
animals.
ah.
You know what I mean? But
I can't even watch Atari.
No, no, I'm not.
And that
into-
movie
I'm not
was
into
made
any-
like a
any of those
bazillion
things.
years
No, no,
ago.
no,
Before they had animal
Born
rights.
Free. I'm not into any of that crap. But anyway, so this time I watched it, I went with it, and enjoyed it. Okay, and it was and it actually it showed it showed what happened that changed the premise. In the original Planet of the Apes, there was a war, the world blew up, and only the apes survived. You know what I mean? Okay, boom, 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 boom. Okay.
But it
the
never
apes,
showed how the apes were able to
Well,
be so linguistic.
yeah, well, and it never got into that. Well, it did a little bit later on, but you know, the thing was, it happened over 3,000 years or over a couple
Right.
thousand. Okay, Okay, so they were going more with evolution than anything else. This was not that. This was a more abrupt thing. You know, they developed this chemical, it had the mind grow, you know, stuff like that. So if you accepted that premise, this was much better laid out, because the transition period to Caesar being able to talk was weeks or months. You know, well, actually, you know, yes, a few years, and then boom, 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 and the way he got the other apes to pay attention, it was really well done. I thought it was really well done. So, okay, we're good. We have 4 minutes.
Okay.
Okay, but so anyway, I just wanted to say, oh, and for those of you who I know are on pins and needles about this particular item, Star Trek II B, because we've already had 88 issue, you know, and all those other ones.
So it's the second Star Trek to the re-release of.
Yes, to the re-release of.
Okay.
That were now, you know, the one that was just started,
okay,
called Star Trek. Okay. Well, now Star Trek II is in production, and little pictures are starting to leak out and stuff like that. So it'll probably be pretty good.
Cool.
So we'll see.
I'm excited about the new Marvel movie, the Avengers.
Okay.
I watched one of the trailers online, and there's. I'm not quite sure of what the plot is, but
Right.
at one point there's Loki from Thor
Okay.
is standing in Stark Industries with Tony Stark.
Right.
And Loki's like, I have an army. And Tony Stark goes, we have a Hulk, big deal. And I was like, that's the best thing I've heard.
Right.
So that comes out, I think, May 3rd.
Okay, now.
I think I'm going to take that. That's going to be my birthday gift to Adam.
Oh, how old is he going to be? 32?
31.
31. Okay. Now, you guys are the same age about, or you're a little older?
I'm a year older.
You're
He was
okay.
born 81. I was born 80.
Year is nothing. Tina and I
Yeah.
are 10 years apart for
That's
6
okay.
months. And I'm 11 years apart. So I'm going to say, oh, and the funniest thing, there's a new Spider-Man coming out, and the guy that plays Spider-Man is Darth Vader, is Anakin Skywalker.
Oh, get out.
Yeah, the same actor that way.
So that's where that kid went.
Yeah, you know, right. It's that stuff. And did you ever notice that we had this tremendous phenomena hit the movie theaters, Lord of the Rings, and the only cat that made... You're chewing your nails.
I am.
The only cat that made it out of that movie was the guy that plays Legolas. I forget his name. He did the Pirates of the Caribbean movies, and I can't remember his name. Everybody out there probably does know it. But so out of all the actors that were in that film, really only one.
Ian McKellen was Gandalf, the great.
Oh yeah, I'm sorry. Okay,
He did well.
yes, but he was he was
He was
prolific ahead of time.
Yeah.
These people came out of that film. In other words, Ian McKellen had played in Gods and Monsters and other
He
stuff
did,
like that.
and all the
Yeah.
X-Men stuff.
You know, so I mean, he was
Well,
an established actor.
And one of those guys played Hagrid in the Harry Potter movies. I thought.
Yeah, but I don't remember. But I don't remember. I don't remember which one it was, because they also got the guy that used to play Maigret, which is a mystery, A&E Mysteries. Anyway, we're probably confused.
That's
everything.
okay.
Okay, so this week's
Song.
This week's song is called "Before Tomorrow," and it's an odd song, and I'm always amazed that it has the following it has. I mean, they played it on the radio. They you know, there's some stations that do play stuff like that, and in the collector's stuff that I have out, people liked it, and so.
And you wrote it?
Oh yeah, I wrote it.
Okay.
Everything I sing, I write.
Okay.
Okay, and but it's called Before Tomorrow. It's gonna be coming up soon. So I guess we should do the old bid you a fond farewell until we meet again. The next week is Chemo 6, but when we tape again, it's a week off. So we'll see if I act any better.
And we celebrate. And then in 2 weeks.
Yes, the
we'll
next time we
celebrate my 1 year.
videotape together, you've been here a year.
I know.
Yeah, a year you've been doing this show.
Well, anyway, this is a song called "Before Tomorrow." It's a little bit odd, okay? But I think that the words have some value. Yesterday will come before tomorrow. But if you don't watch out, you'll forget about today. Take your dreams along with sorrow. But what you're living now will also always stay. There's no reason to live in the past. The future turns around and it's the past. Sleeping while your life goes on forever. Maybe the cause for living in a different day. Open up your eyes and see the weather. Maybe you will turn and point the other way. There's no reason to live in the past. The future will turn around and it's the past. Yesterday